Good. Let's quickly run through division of integers. Okay. So there is nothing different in terms of division. Also, you can see, whenever you have okay, say for example, you are dividing 4 by 2. 4 by 2 plus 4 is divided by plus 2, right? Like plus into plus is plus, plus divided by plus also will always be plus.
Plus.
Now plus divided by minus, like plus into minus is minus, here plus divided by minus also is minus. So now minus divided by plus is also minus. Minus divided by minus?
Plus.
Plus. So in terms of sign notation, whether it is multiplication or division, the sign notation remains same. Now, whereas, in terms of notation now, I think they have just copied it wrong. Don't worry about this for a moment. Okay, just don't worry about this. Okay, plus divided by plus is plus, minus divided by minus is plus. So minus by minus is also plus. Okay, so the fundamentally very basic stuff.
Okay, sir.
Now, let me check how many of you will tell me properties of division. Does it hold closure property?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Division of integers, does it hold closure property?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Okay, Pranay is saying 4 divided by 2 is 2. So what about 2 divided by 4, Pranay? What is 2 divided by 4? When I divide 2 divided by 4.
The closure property in division will not always be correct.
So closure
Sir, it
property,
depends on the number.
it depends on the number. So whenever it depends on the number, we say it doesn't hold closure property always. Okay, so closure property is not true always. So basically it doesn't hold closure property all the time. That's the way to put it.
Yes,
Karthik
sir.
says I can. Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No problem, no problem, no problem. So what you need to learn is when two digits, a divided by is not always an integer. Because it is always not an integer, so closure property doesn't hold good with division of integers. In division of integers, it is not a closure property because not every time the resultant is an integer. Therefore, it's not in that closed family. That's the reason closure property doesn't hold good all the time. Okay, very good. So now, does it hold commutative property?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So no, very good.
No, sir.
So because A divided by B is not equal to B divided by A, right? So everyone knows this. Because it doesn't go hold commutative, there is no question that it holds associative property. So
Yes, sir.
associative property is also ruled out. Okay, so will you remember this for your lifetime?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So we are not just remembering answers, we are understanding them. So now this takes us to very interesting stuff. A divided by A is always 1. When A is divided by A will always give you 1 because when you divide 2 divided by 2, you have 2 chocolates and you have to give 2 chocolates to each of them. Sorry, you have 2 chocolates, you have to divide among 2 people. So 2 divided by 2, you'll get 1. So each one gets 1 chocolate. So if you have 4 chocolates and you have to give to 4 people, what will that give you? That'll give you 1 each. So A divided by A, you should know this, A divided by A is always 1. Okay. Similarly, A divided by 1. So for example, you have 10 chocolates, you have to give it to only one person. 10 divided by 1, what will you get? You get 10. So A divided by 1 will always give you A. These are some standard stuff which you should be knowing, because these are kind of questions you will get in some nice exams. So this is very fundamental, but you should not get confused the moment you see A, B, C. Apple divided by apple, it will give you 1. Monkey divided by monkey, it will give you 1. Donkey divided by donkey, it will give you 1. Make sense? Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now let's look at this. Now he's asking you A divided by minus 1. A divided by minus 1. So
The
basically you
positive,
know,
negative.
because it's positive divided by negative, it has to be negative. And A divided by 1 is always A. So that's the reason A divided by minus 1 will give you minus A. Whereas if you divide A divided by minus A, now what happens here? A divided by A, you know answer is 1. But
-1.
minus 1. Very good. Because of that sign, plus divided by minus, plus and minus, therefore you get minus. So that is something that everyone should be knowing. Good. So for any non-zero integer, 0 divided by A, when you divide 0 divided by A will always give you 0.
Sir, 0.
Yes, 0 divided by A will always give you 0. Good.
Sir, I have a question. If 0 divided by A is 0, so A divided by 0 is also 0?
No, basically it's called undefined. I'll tell you why it is called undefined. Okay, you want to know that? Okay, so say for example 0. Okay, I'll explain. Please concentrate, everyone. Everyone look at it. It's a very interesting question. So 0 divided by A, everyone knows is 0.
0.
0 divided by A gives you 0. For example, you have 0 chocolates. That means you have no chocolates. And you have to give it to, say, 10 people. 0 divided by 10 people. What will each one of them get?
0.
0, right?
0.
Because there are 0 chocolates, whether you give it to 10 people or 20 people or 100 people. So whether say 0 divided by 1 is also 0, 0 divided by 20 is also 0, 0 divided by 100 is also 0. So 0 divided
sir.
by any number is always 0. Okay?
Yes, sir.
0, A divided by 0 is infinity?
No. Wait. Just wait. Yeah, we'll come there. We'll come there. Okay. So now let me ask you a very simple question. Have you people learned fractions 1 by 10, 1 by 20?
Yes,
Did you learn
sir.
that? Very good. So now let me take a nice number line and explain. This is 0. Imagine this is 1. This is, okay. Now let's assume I have, say, a number 100. Okay, I have 100 chocolates. How many chocolates do I have? 100 chocolates. Now, if I want to give 100 chocolates to only one person, so 100 divided by 1. What is the value of 100 divided by 1?
100.
100. Now, let's assume I don't have 1. I have only 0.5. Just imagine I have only 0.5. So there is only 0.5. If I want to divide 100 divided by 0.5. So if I'm dividing by 1, it is 100. If I'm dividing by 0.5, will it be more than 100?
No, it's less with 50.
No, it will be 200 because 0.5 is called 1 by 2. So already Veda has already calculated quickly. She says 200. Wonderful. Now tell me, if I have to divide 100 now by 0.1, if I have to divide by 0.1, what is the answer? Anyone?
1000.
Very good. It's 1000. Very good. Now tell me 100 divided by 0.01.
10,000. Sir, 10,000.
Very good. Very good. Now tell me if I divide 100 by 0.0001.
Sir, 1,10,000. 1 lakh.
There will be how many zeros now? There will be 4 more zeros. That means 1,10,000. Wonderful. Now tell me If it is 100 divided by 0.00000000001, what will be the answer? That will be a very big
1
number.
and 12 zeros.
Ah, that will be a very big number.
So 12 zeros.
So when your denominator is becoming small and small and small and small and small is becoming 0. Okay?
Infinite.
So you will get an infinitely big number. That's how it is. So we don't, billion. No, it's not defined. It's undefined. It's an infinite number. So we'll learn that in detail when we go to a higher standards. Now, for now, you don't need that. You just need to understand that will be an infinite, big number. So we'll learn that later.